Have you heard the latest healthcare news? There's been a medical programming breakthrough. Let's go to Ali and Ron for more.
Thanks, Ed. A Good Samaritan is offering Alexia HTC, a new EMR EHR to doctors for free. Certainly, this free offer will shake things up in the medical software industry. Alexia HTC is a David pitting itself against the Goliaths, Epic, Cerner, and Meditech, which are old and cost too much money. What happens if you figure out how to build a new EMR EHR on the web for pennies on the dollar? You give it away to the suffering physicians for free.
Want to learn more about how these two powerhouse solutions will help you win more business? Schedule a demo below. In just minutes, Alexia HTC can help you access a patient record, enter an order, write a note, prescribe a medication, generate a charge, and create a super bill. Plus, Alexia Care Corporation, the vendor of the new web application, offers full customer service and training support free of charge. Who can beat that?
Hello, brothers and sisters. We are very happy to welcome you to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. We have a whole lot of news for you. We know you enjoy getting the news from us, so we're going to try to make sense out of all what is happening. The news is going to cover so many countries, okay? We're going to cover Ambazonia. We're going to cover the Central African Republic. We're going to cover Ethiopia. We're going to cover Ivory Coast. We're going to cover La Republique du Cameroun. We're going to cover Malawi. We're going to cover Mali. We're going to cover Nigeria. And we're going to cover Uganda. So there are so many stories breaking out. What we do is we don't like to bore you with a very long show. We try to give you insights into the news behind the news. We give you a perspective that lends itself to better analysis of what is happening in the motherland every day. We know some of you are overwhelmed by a lot of the news stories, but we try to make sense out of whatever is happening. So we take you back now to Ambazonia. Ambazonia, as you know, we've been reporting on this every week on our show. There's an unjust war, a meaningless war that is going on in this part of the world because the people of that part of the world have decided that they have to declare their self-determination. They want to have the right to decide what happens in their lives every day. They don't want a French handpicked government to dictate what happens in their lives. Because of that, they are paying dearly with their lives. They are dying every day, and the world community is just watching, and not much is really happening. We've been telling you this story almost every week. It's become more like the chorus of a sad song. And what is really making the people angry is because we have so many images we're going to show you of Ambazonia. This week, the people have memories of what the past was like. It's like paradise lost. This is how the people of this part of the world feel. After over 57 years, they feel the marriage between La Republique and Southern Cameroon has failed. The marriage is not working, so each party should be free to walk away. But no, La Republique du Cameroun does not want the people of Ambazonia to walk away from this failed marriage. They are forcing them to stay. But the people from Ambazonia look at the images, because we share the images with you on this show today, because these images make them look back in anger. They look back at the beautiful past, the way a model democracy was working in 1961, okay, up to even 1965. They had 4 governments that were really stable. Everything started with EML Ndeli. Then you have John Foncha. Then you have A.N. Jua. Finally, you had Estimona. So they had governments that were democratically elected. Just the way even Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the PM of Nigeria, had warned the Southern Cameroonians that do not vote and go to La Republique du Cameroun because they're going to introduce you to a new lifestyle. These people don't believe in freedom. You have learned freedom from the British system. Now you're going to go to people who are used to French dictatorship, and they would attack you, arrest you for no good reason. You are considered a criminal before you even go to court. Tafawa Balewa, PM of Nigeria at the time, has even warned the people of Ambazonia that, listen, do not make the mistake of joining East Cameroon. EML Ndeli repeated the same alarm. Okay, sounded the alarm, but the people manipulated things. Even the conference in Fumba was just like a fix-up. Okay, they deceived the people. So when the Anglophones sit now and look at the maltreatment they are receiving from this French-backed government of Paul Biya, they look back in anger and regret, which is why they are hell-bent on freedom. Last week, we watched Tibor Nagy, the U.S. Undersecretary for Africa. He told Congress that, frankly, Paul Biya and his stupid government should not be trying to bring new development to this part of the world. What the people want is freedom. So he should free these people. That's what they want. They don't want any modernization. They don't want any fake development. They just want to be free. And that's what they want. And because of that, the Biya government seems to be deaf. They don't want to hear. The people want freedom. They don't want lies. They are tired of lies. So they want freedom. So whether you decide to let them free or not, they are fighting to be free. And that's why this war in Ambazonia continues. It goes on every day. So from Ambazonia now, we're going to move to Central African Republic. But before we move to Central African Republic, we want to take a moment to recognize the family of Stephen Tator. Stephen Tator is a guy from Ambazonia. His family are all Anglophones. So he was the soccer captain for the national team of La Republique du Cameroun. And he died a few days ago, but he died in shame. This is a government that doesn't really do anything for its stars. Stephen Tator went all over the world. They won matches for Cameroon. But what did the Cameroon give to him in return? Nothing. So his death is really a sad one. But we just want to look at the achievements, the trophies he brought to Africa. So we look at him like a true son of Africa, and we tell his family that we mourn with them. He has passed, but we've lost a great hero. Okay?
Is your EMR EHR COVID-19 ready? If not, you do not know what you are missing. Why do you suffer in silence? Be smart. Turn to Alexia HTC today. Alexia HTC is the leader in virtual solution and communication technology in these times of pandemic crisis. When the unexpected happens, who are you going to call? Alexia HTC. Come and see how Alexia HTC Cloud Communications are enabling your fellow healthcare providers to consult with patients virtually and making big money. Alexia HTC also enables your employees to work remotely during the COVID-19 crisis. Are your employees safe? Do not jeopardize the health and safety of your patients and practice. What can Alexia HTC do for you? Alexia HTC is the new Colossus, the sister of physicians, who gives you back liberty, that is, the freedom to practice medicine your way. Vivacious virtual visits wherever you please. Amazing e-prescribing. Quick access to patient information. Easy access to medical records from other providers. Rapid drug allergy checks. Integrated lab tests and results. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled doctors yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your greedy corporations. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed physicians, to me. I give them the refuge. The happy home of Alexia HTC. Act now. Browse alexiahtc.com or call 240-350-1131.
Central African Republic. Now we'll go to Central African Republic. Last week, we also spoke about Central African Republic because Francois Bozize is trying to run again for the president. He was president before. He shot himself into power using a coup d'etat, and eventually a coup d'etat took him out. So this week, the news is that the UN has decided to maintain the embargo on Central African Republic. As we've been telling you before, the Central African Republic is just like a no man's land. It's a failed state. So the whole place is awash with weapons. Because the place has a lot of minerals, there is the interplay of the Russians, the French, all fighting to control the resources of this part of the world. As a result, they try to create militias who fight and kill each other because they want to divert the attention of the people from those resources. So Russia, France, these are all thieves. They are stealing the resources of the people. They are the ones fueling the war that is going on. Because the people don't have modern weapons, the Russians and the French take these weapons there. So finally, the UN has decided to renew this embargo to try to reduce the level of death in this part of the world. We think that's a salutary move, but the present puppet leaders in Central African Republic are really angry because of the embargo. It means they cannot just buy weapons to kill their brothers. You see how foolish Africans can be? They want to have weapons to be killing their own people. So we salute the UN move. When we look at what is happening in Africa this week, we just tell you that most African presidents don't really want democracy. Because if there's democracy, you'll not be fighting every day with your brother and killing your brother. It's because when people get into power, they want to dominate, they want to monopolize the instruments of power, then they start killing other people. So this creates problems, it creates tension. Even in Ethiopia, our next topic, we've been telling you positive stories about Abiy Ahmed, but the last week we saw what happened in Ethiopia and we did not like it. The internet was cut. We thought this was only happening in dictatorial countries, but Abiy Ahmed is using excuses to cut the internet. So the internet was cut in Ethiopia for a long time and they just restored it. But at what cost? Whenever the internet is off in one day, it costs the country a whole lot. But most of these leaders don't really care about what it costs the country. They only look at their selfish interests, which is why there will be problems in Africa all the time. When we talk about African problems, you're always going to get strife, warfare, conflict, okay? So Ethiopia has not only been excluded from this class because Abiy Ahmed, we thought he was really a good leader, but now when he started cutting the internet to try to muscle opposition, that's not good. That's not a good beginning. So that's bad. From Ethiopia, we're going to move now to Ivory Coast. Of course, we covered Ivory Coast a few times on this show. We told you about the death of the PM, okay? The PM died. After he died, what happened? Now Ouattara has lost his protege. Ouattara wanted, now it looks like the game of political succession, the game of political shuffle is going to go back to the old men. We thought the old guard is going to give way to the new generation to rule Ivory Coast. But the way we see things, already Alassane Ouattara seems to have built a third-term project, which he wants to really put into action. He wants to implement. After the death of Gon Coulibaly, it looks like Alassane Ouattara's party has chosen him as a candidate for the election, which he himself said he was not going to be a candidate. So now Alassane Ouattara wants to be a candidate. Who else wants to be a candidate? Of course, the former president who was ousted in a coup, Henri Konan Bédié, also wants to be a candidate. So he too is jostling for power. Then, of course, you have Pascal Nguessan, who used to be the PM of Laurent Gbagbo. He also is running for president. So these are all the old people. So even though Laurent Gbagbo is not running, but his former PM is running. So when we look at what is happening in this environment, we say, how are things going to turn out? So it's going to be tough because how can you avoid strife when you know that Alassane Ouattara is in power? He's not going to accept defeat. So he's not going to leave the presidency. Even if he loses, he will stay there. He's a French puppet, which you know. So he's not going to leave power. Because of that, the contenders are going to cry foul because they too want to win this election. And they're going to say, well, the election was rigged because the president has the military behind him. So we have to take the law into our own hands and start fighting. And this is what brought about the civil war in Ivory Coast many years ago. And the way we look at things don't really all go well for Ivory Coast because we think the old guard is going to mess things up for the young generation again. And this is sad. But we're just telling you so that the people who can think can tell this news to most of the Ivorians so that they can do something about it. If they can do something about it, that would really be great. But usually, politicians are like drunks. They drink, they feel they'll never get drunk, and they keep doing stupid things. So we'll leave Ivory Coast now and move to La Republique du Cameroun. For La Republique du Cameroun, most of the stories that we have today have to do with the doctors. We have some doctors who are really angry at President Paul Biya because they feel a deal that was struck between the health minister and the finance minister has robbed them of some benefits. And they feel Biya owes them money because he has taken those benefits from them. So they are really fighting to get those benefits back. Will they get those benefits back? We don't think so. So it's going to create a whole lot of tension. And you can see much of what is really happening. The war continues, the war machine. Even though they are talking about ceasefire, there's no ceasefire coming because the people in the Biya regime are caught between two camps. You have the hawks who really want to make sure that this war continues because they are really benefiting from the war effort. Then, of course, you have the yes men. So things are really going to really be messy for a while. And we think it's really sad where we find ourselves. So we're going to leave La Republique du Cameroun now and go to
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was going to take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states where he's born, he even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
Malawi is an interesting one because this morning, one of you guys sent us a video. It was just of a video of a melee at the parliament in Malawi. You see most of the parliamentarians fighting. Then the women also joined the effort. So it was really interesting theater. Even in the Portuguese parliament, you cannot really see such theater. So I'll give you guys a minute to watch this video on Malawi. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video on Malawi so you can see how the people are kicking. So this tells us that as Africans, we cannot really rule ourselves, okay? Why can we not rule ourselves? We are an old civilization. We cannot rule ourselves because we have a few greedy people who want to spoil things for most of us. And that's why you see them fighting. Simple arguments. We cannot really settle simple issues peacefully. We have to fight. It's because we feel we've been cheated. Which is why we keep telling you, the only way Africa can survive is when the people sit back and start putting things together so that there is fairness. There's no one big man rule. Everybody participates. But when a few people get into power and they try to usurp power just for themselves, they monopolize the instruments of state. Okay? When they do this, the have-nots are going to rebel. Okay? So it's just like every action has a reaction. Okay? Reaction, action, reaction, action, reaction. So that's what is happening. So don't do something and think that the other people are not going to react. They'll react because they don't feel the country is your birthright. They don't think you should be president forever. They feel that they can be president, you two can be president, but when one person wants to monopolize the presidency as if that's his birthright, it creates problems. It creates animosity. You may think you have soldiers who can fight for you, but sometimes people just decide to sacrifice themselves and they want to fight you. And that's what is happening in much of Africa. Sometimes the people really get tired and they want to fight the dictators. And that's what is happening in Malawi. From Malawi now, we're going to go to Mali. Last week, we spent a lot of time discussing Mali. Mali has a problem. Unfortunately, the dictatorial club, most of them from ECOWAS, headed by Muhammadu Buhari, president of Nigeria, was thinking that they could solve this problem in Mali. But the problem is an internal problem that has really festered. The problem is not calling for politics. It's calling for an honest brokering approach to solve the problem. But most of these people flew in, some of the presidents, Macky Sall from Senegal, president from Niger, they came and sat and just started talking politics. Well, President Keita will stay, so we'll just let him stay, and opposition will give you a few, will cancel the votes in parliament, then things will just go on as normal. But the young people in Mali are sick and tired of corruption. They are sick and tired of bribery. So which is why you see them protesting. Okay, they are losing their lives because they believe in freedom. They believe in decency. And you can see it yourself. We have a lot of images which you can see. So the president of Mali is very corrupt. Okay, he doesn't even allow people to speak. He stops ballot boxes thinking that the people will just keep quiet. The people are not keeping quiet. So things are sad. Even ECOWAS is even threatening the opposition. But the opposition is dead set that Ibrahim Keita must resign. That's what they want. Anything short of that is unacceptable to the opposition. So Keita doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay in power. So there's a stalemate. How is this going to work out? The way we see it, there's going to be a lot more bloodsheds. There's going to be a lot more strife because the two parties are at daggers drawn, okay? Daggers drawn, ready to continue fighting. But is it worth fighting? We don't think so because most of these people are not even thinking about the interests of their country, okay? Like the president just wants to be president. He doesn't care whether people are dying, which is the sad part. Then when you get people from the dictatorial club, when you look at the members of the African Union, they're all part of the same club. So they will never come and take the side of the people. But that's what they should have done. They should have taken the side of the people to make peace so that Keita can step down, then they would elect somebody new to take over. But these guys know that what Keita is doing is what they are doing in their own countries. So they are not different. So when they come there, they just play politics and ask Keita to stay. Don't worry, we'll try to calm the situation. But the situation is not calming down anytime soon. There's more strife going on, and we're really sorry when we see what is happening. We think it's going to create more and more problems. Next, we're going to leave Mali and move to Nigeria. Nigeria, of course, you know, we like talking about Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria is a big country in Africa, and whatever happens in Nigeria affects a lot of smaller African countries. So it's more like the big daddy. Okay, so what do we have for you from Nigeria? From Nigeria this week, we know that Mr. Buhari met with some of his security chiefs, and they decided to look into the problem of insecurity that has been bedeviling the administration since Buhari took over from President Goodluck Jonathan. When he took over from Goodluck Jonathan, his promise was that he was going to solve the problem of insecurity and corruption. A lot of Nigerians believed him. They felt because this guy was an army general, he would be able to do it. But it looks like Buhari is just an armchair general. He doesn't know anything about military strategy. He doesn't know anything about solving problems. The smart approach is what we call rapprochement. Bring these guys to the table and negotiate like brothers and sisters. But don't think that because you have a big army, you can use this big army to bully them into coercion, okay? You cannot bully them, and they know that. They die, they recruit, and they fight back. And the sad thing in the case of Nigeria is that within the same Buhari administration, you have sympathizers of Boko Haram. So it becomes ineffective for the people to fight against Boko Haram. A few weeks ago, we saw articles in the Nigerian press, interviews of people who are soldiers in the Nigerian army. They are fighting, and they are really regretting the fact that some of the soldiers were angry that they were killing too many Boko Haram guys. Why? Because those Boko Haram guys are their brothers and sisters. So most of these guys from the north don't want you to kill them. Okay? So what is a better approach? The better approach is for Mr. Buhari to think he's worried about insecurity. Insecurity will continue in Nigeria. Last week, the governor's convoy was attacked. We will continue experiencing such incidents because the government of Buhari doesn't have a smart strategy. A smart strategy is to bring these guys to the table, the Boko Haram guys. What started this Boko Haram thing? When you think about a problem, you can solve it easily. But when you don't think and you allow colonial masters to think for you, then you push yourself to a corner, then they hit you. Boko Haram cannot be defeated militarily. Okay? This insurgency will continue for a very long time. If we want it to end right away, then we have to bring these people, pull them out of the bush, let them come to the table. Okay? Ask them what they want. As brothers and sisters, we can always negotiate. Negotiations mean you gain, you lose. But you don't only want to win all the time. You don't only want to listen to your colonial masters to tell you what to do. Because the colonial masters' only interest is to get the oil from Nigeria. They don't care about the well-being of Nigerians. This is something that Mr. Buhari doesn't understand. Even China, their benefactor, is not a sincere benefactor because they owe China so much money and China pretends as if it's a friend of Nigeria. No, China just wants to grab your resources and leave. China doesn't care about Nigeria. China doesn't care about Nigerians. Okay? So the earlier we understand this, the better things will be for our country. So, Mr. Buhari, militarily, you cannot defeat Boko Haram. You leave this position, you find out that I'm right. I am right. You cannot defeat Boko Haram militarily. It's a waste of time because the spirit of human beings is indomitable. You cannot conquer that spirit. Only God can conquer the human spirit. So the best approach to solve this Boko Haram problem is to look for a political opening. Bring them on board, sit down, and let them talk about what they want. Then you tell them what you want, then you reach an agreement. That's the best way to solve this Boko Haram problem because a lot of people are dying and we value human life, so we don't want too many people to be dying. But it looks like some of you don't really value human life and you want people to continue dying. So this is really sad, and that's what we see in the example of Nigeria. Because you can sit down with the military guys all you want, you're not going to be able to solve that problem. Next, we're going to take you from Nigeria now to Uganda. In Uganda, we have a lot happening. Museveni is running for the 5th term. But is that good? That's terrible. That's why he's making a mockery of democracy. Then at the same time, in Uganda, one of our viewers and subscribers, Mr. Douglas Machweri. Mr. Douglas just did a video which he sent to us, and he's starting a new show, and we always encourage our people to do things.
This Saturday on BTM.
With more than 30% of all mineral resources on Earth, Africa is the world's treasury of natural resources. With the world's youngest population, the future looks bright for the continent. With the world's richest heritage and history and most groundbreaking discoveries traced back to Africa, the continent is at the epicenter of world inventions. With the world's most sophisticated ancient political, social and economic infrastructure, Africa was once a global power, yet today, Africa is ranked the poorest. with the majority of people living below the poverty line according to the World Bank and the world's biggest recipient of foreign aid. A continent threatened by civil war, social, political, and economic uncertainty, Africa stands at crossroads. Join Douglas Mukwege for an in-depth analysis of the mysteries that surround Africa from the past, present, and future every Saturday, 9 to 9:30 p.m. on BTM Television on the show Africa Today.
Sit back and relax with BTM. We transform.
So we've come to the end of our show. We thank you very much for watching. We will encourage you, share this show with your friends. Share, 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 share. May God bless you.
One thing I love about this store, they are very consistent and they treat the customers very, very well. You come here, you see everything that you will need for your house.
Express Driving School is the place for excitement of fast-track driver education, drug and alcohol testing, driver counseling, bilingual translation. For all your MVA needs, contact us. John F. Abbey, 6480 New Hampshire Avenue Suite 207B, Tacoma Park, Maryland 20912. Office phone 301-270-0018. Cell phone 240-644-3977. And you can reach us at our website, expressdrivingeducation.com. Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Unique Auto Repair. This is a brother from Ghana. His name is Emmanuel Ofori. He has a good business and he repairs cars. He repairs all type of cars. Mercedes, Toyota, Honda, you name it. The brother does it. He repairs everything. So even if you buy a car from the auction and you need to get it fixed, go to Emmanuel Ofori, Unique Auto Repair. He will repair this for you. It's very, very good. He has repaired my cars for me many times, and I love the service. And if you mention my name, Prince Ojong, he will give you even something also.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.